Area and perimeter of triangles and trapezoids notes. Below are different versions of triangles and trapezoids that can vary in their appearance. Together, let's label their dimensions correctly. In the first one, the base is on the bottom. If you draw a dotted line down the center of the triangle, that will make a right angle, and that dotted line will then be the height. When you already have a right angle, the base is on the bottom, and the height will be the line that makes that right angle with the base. When you have an obtuse triangle, you're going to draw the dotted line outside of the triangle to make the right angle. So the base will be on the bottom, and the height will be that dotted line. In this trapezoid, you're going to have two bases. On the top, you'll have base 1, so we'll label it B1, and you'll have a base 2, and we'll label that B2. Then you need to draw a dotted line to make a right angle, and that dotted line will be the height. And the trapezoid all the way on the right, your parallel lines are on the left and on the right, so those are going to actually be your bases. So you'll have base 1 and base 2. Your height, because this is already a right angle and a 90-degree angle, your height is going to be that side that makes that 90-degree angle. So you don't need to draw the dotted line for it. For letters A through D, you're going to find the area and perimeter of each of the following figures. Remember that in a triangle, area equals 1/2 base times height. So you need to find your base and your height and just plug them in. Your base is the 5 meters, and it makes the right angle with the dotted line, the height, which is 8 meters. So area is going to equal 1/2 times 5 times 8. When you plug that into your calculator, you will see that area equals 20, and then your label is meters squared. Remember, it's squared because it's area. For the perimeter, you're just adding up the sides. So in this case, we do not need to know the height because that's inside the triangle. We just need to know the 5, the 12, and the other 12. So you add up 5 plus 12 plus 12. And you will get 29. The label is just meters. In letter B, again, it's a triangle, so your area is 1/2 times the base times the height. Your base is 6 yards, and your height with the right angle is 8 yards. So you're plugging in your numbers. 1/2 times 6 times 8. When you plug that into your calculator, you get 24. Yards is your label, and make sure you square it because it's area. For perimeter, remember you're adding up all three sides, so perimeter will be 10 plus 8 plus 6. And you will get 24, and your label is yards. In letter C, you have a trapezoid. The area for trapezoid is area equals 1/2 times the height times the quantity of base 1 plus base 2. So find what numbers go in there. Your height is drawn in with the dotted lines, and that will be 4 millimeters. Base 1 is going to be at the top, the 6 millimeters, and base 2 will be at the bottom, the 10 millimeters. So plug it in. Area equals 1/2 times 4 times the quantity of 6 plus 10. If you put this in your calculator, make sure that you put the parentheses. If you don't use a calculator, remember you do parentheses first, and 6 plus 10 is 16. So it's really going to be 1/2 times 4 times 16. You will find that area is 32, and your label is millimeters, and make sure you square it because it's area. For perimeter, we don't need the height, which is on the inside of the trapezoid, but we do need the other two sides, the 5 and the 6. So you're going to add up the 4 sides of the trapezoid. You have 10 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6. And you will get 27, and the label was millimeters. For letter D, again, you have a trapezoid, and your bases are on the left and on the right because those are the parallel lines. You also see that there's a right angle, so our height makes up that right angle. So the height will be the 6 inches, base 1 will be 5 inches, and base 2 will be 8 inches. We don't need to worry about the 7 for the area. Remember that your formula for area is 1/2 times the height times the quantity of base 1 plus base 2. Plug in your numbers, and you get area equals 1/2 times 6 times the quantity of 5 plus 8. You could do it in the calculator. Make sure you use parentheses, or you can do order of operations. 8 plus 5 is 13, so it'll actually be 1/2 times 6 times 13. And you will find that area is 39. Your label is inches. Make sure it's squared because it's area. For your perimeter, you need to add into the 7 into the mix. So add your 4 sides up, and you have 7 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8. And you get your perimeter is 26, and your label is inches. For letter E, you're going to use what you know about area and perimeter of triangles and trapezoids to answer the following questions. E, a trapezoid has an area of 60 meters squared. The measures of the two bases are 4 meters and 6 meters. How tall is the trapezoid? So if you think about your formula, area for a trapezoid is 1/2 times the height times the quantity of base 1 plus base 2. You can plug in your numbers. You already know what area is, that it's 60. That will equal 1/2 times the height, which we don't know, so we'll keep the h, times the quantity of 4 plus 6, since we do know the bases. Now if you follow the order of operations, you will see that you have 60 equals 1/2 times h times 4 plus 6, which is 10. You can then bring down the 60, and 1/2 of 10 is 5, and then bring down your h. Now to get rid of the 5, we're going to divide by 5 on both sides, and that will cancel out the 5, and that leaves us with h is 12. So the height is 12. Now put your label in. Area was meters squared, and the sides were meters, so you want to keep it as meters because it's just talking about one side. Use what you know about area and perimeter of triangles and trapezoids to answer the following question. F, the area of an isosceles triangle with side length 9 feet is 40 feet squared. It has a base measure of 10 feet. How tall is the triangle, and what is its perimeter? So if you think about it and visualize it, you can actually draw the triangle. It's an isosceles triangle, which means that 2 of the sides are the same. And it says the side length is 9, and because it's an isosceles triangle, that means that the other side is going to be 9 feet as well. And it says the base is 10 feet. We don't know the height, and that's the one that you need to draw in with the dotted line to make the right angle. So that's what we're trying to find. Remember that the formula for area is 1/2 times the base times the height. We know the area is 40, so you bring down the 1/2. We know that the base is 10, but we don't know the height, so we'll keep the h. To solve this, you can bring down your 40 and the equal sign, and 1/2 of 10 is 5, and then bring down your h. They're all being multiplied, so it's just 5h. To get rid of the 5, you're going to divide by 5 on both sides. That will leave you with just h, and 40 divided by 5 is 8. And remember to bring your label down, which was feet. It's only one side, so it stays feet. So we know the height is 8 feet. Now let's find the perimeter. The perimeter is just the 3 numbers that were the sides. So you have 10 plus 9 plus 9. And your perimeter will be 28 feet.